Level 1, the winner. You are 34 years old when the numbers match. You work at a tire shop in Ohio, hands black with grease and back aching from bent hours. Your apartment is small with thin walls and a radiator that clanks through winter nights. Your girlfriend Lisa works double shifts at the diner to help with rent. You buy lottery tickets every Friday with the last $5 in your wallet. It is a foolish hope, but hope nonetheless. The drawing is Tuesday night. You check the numbers on your phone during break. They match. All 6 numbers match exactly. You stare at the screen until your eyes water. You check again. The numbers have not changed. $1 billion, paid over 30 years or $600 million in cash. Your hands shake as you screenshot the ticket. Your co-workers think you are having a heart attack. You drive home in your rusted Honda with the winning ticket in your shirt pocket. Lisa is cooking ramen noodles when you walk through the door. You show her the numbers without speaking. She looks at the ticket, then at your face, then back at the ticket. She sits down hard on the kitchen chair. You both stare at the paper that will change everything. Neither of you understands yet how completely everything will change. That night, you cannot sleep. You lie in bed listening to Lisa breathe and thinking about numbers too large to understand. $600 million. You have never seen $1,000 in one place. You have never imagined wealth beyond paying bills on time. You think about your father, dead 5 years from a heart attack at 58. He worked 2 jobs and never saw a vacation. You think about quitting the tire shop tomorrow. You think about never worrying about money again. You have no idea that money brings different worries, deeper and colder than any you have known. Level 2, the claim. The lottery office is sterile white with fluorescent lights that make everyone look sick. Lawyers and financial advisors materialize like vultures circling fresh meat. They speak in percentages and tax strategies while you sign documents that transfer wealth beyond imagination. The photographer asks you to smile while holding the oversized check. Your grin feels artificial, like wearing someone else's face. Lisa quits the diner immediately. You quit the tire shop with 2 weeks' notice because your mother raised you to be polite. Your manager shakes your hand and says he is happy for you. His eyes say something different. He has worked there 23 years and will die there. You see your future in his face and feel guilty for escaping it. You buy coffee for the whole shop on your last day. It costs $47. Soon, $47 will mean nothing to you. That change happens faster than you expect. The first purchase is a new car. You buy a BMW because you have always admired them from a distance. The salesman treats you like royalty when you pay cash. You drive home slowly, afraid to scratch something so expensive. Lisa cries when she sees it. She says it is the most beautiful thing she has ever owned. You do not yet understand that owning beautiful things and being happy are not the same. You do not yet know that money amplifies what you already are, good and bad in equal measure. Your phone rings constantly. Relatives you have not spoken to in years call with emergencies that require money. High school friends reach out with investment opportunities. Strangers find your number and beg for help with medical bills. You want to help everyone. Lisa warns you about people who see dollar signs instead of your face. You think she is being paranoid. You learn later that paranoia is just pattern recognition accelerated by experience. Level 3, the mansion. You buy a house in the wealthy part of town. 8 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms, and a pool shaped like a kidney. The realtor calls it a steal at $2.8 million. You write a check and barely notice the amount. Money has become abstract, like numbers in a video game. The house is too big for 2 people, but you fill it with furniture and art you do not understand. You hire a decorator who speaks in color theories and feng shui. Everything is beautiful and nothing feels like home. Lisa struggles with the transition more than you expected. She shops for groceries and cannot decide between brands that differ by 50 cents. Decisions that once mattered feel meaningless when money is infinite. She buys the expensive olive oil, then feels guilty. She buys the cheap version, then feels stupid. You tell her to buy whatever she wants. She says that is the problem. When everything is possible, nothing feels necessary. Your old friends visit once and never return. They sit carefully on furniture that costs more than their cars. They speak quietly like they are in a museum. You serve wine that costs more per bottle than they spend on groceries in a week. The gulf between your lives has become too wide for friendship to bridge. You tell yourself you have outgrown them. You know you have lost something irreplaceable, but you call it progress. Security becomes necessary when strangers appear at your door with sob stories and demands. You install cameras and hire guards. The walls that protect your property also imprison your spirit. You cannot walk to the mailbox without planning. You cannot drive without checking mirrors for cars that follow too closely. Wealth has made you a target for every desperate person and criminal scheme in a 100-mile radius. Freedom is the first thing money costs you, though you do not realize it until freedom is gone. Level 4, the business empire. Wealth attracts investment opportunities like flowers attract bees. You buy restaurants and car dealerships and apartment complexes. Your financial advisor creates a portfolio diversified across sectors and continents. You own pieces of companies whose names you cannot pronounce in countries you have never visited. Money makes money while you sleep. The numbers grow larger with no effort from you. Success feels hollow when it requires no skill. You hire assistants to manage your calendar and lawyers to protect your interests. Your days fill with meetings about money you will never spend. You learn phrases like capital appreciation and tax optimization. You speak like the wealthy men you once envied. You sound educated and sophisticated. You feel like an actor playing a role written for someone else. The performance becomes easier with practice, but it never feels natural. Lisa wants to have children. You buy fertility treatments and the best doctors money can secure. She conceives twins after months of procedures. You are excited until you realize your children will never know struggle. They will never want anything badly enough to fight for it. They will inherit wealth that took you 34 years to imagine. You wonder if you are giving them a gift or a curse. The distinction blurs when money removes all obstacles and most meaning. Your relationship with Lisa changes in ways neither of you anticipated. She loves you, but she also loves what you can provide. You love her, but you wonder if she would stay if the money disappeared tomorrow. The doubt poisons intimacy like acid in wine. You buy her jewelry and trips to places she dreamed of visiting. She accepts gratefully and you both pretend the gifts have not replaced conversations. Money becomes the language you speak when love feels too dangerous to risk. Level 5, the isolation. 5 years after winning, you trust almost no one completely. Every new relationship feels transactional. People smile differently when they know your net worth. They laugh at jokes that are not funny and agree with opinions you hold weakly. Genuine disagreement becomes rare as honesty. You surround yourself with yes-men and sycophants who tell you what you want to hear. The echo chamber grows louder as the circle grows smaller. Your twins are born healthy and perfect. You hire nannies and tutors and bodyguards to keep them safe. You buy them toys that cost more than most families spend on Christmas. They play with the boxes and ignore the contents. Children instinctively understand what adults forget. Joy comes from simple things that money cannot buy or improve. Your children teach you this lesson, but you are too busy managing wealth to listen carefully. Lisa organizes charity galas and serves on non-profit boards. She finds purpose in giving away money you barely notice missing. Her causes are worthy and her heart is pure, but the work keeps her away from home most evenings. You eat dinner alone in the dining room designed for 12. The silence echoes off marble floors and crystal chandeliers. You wonder if this is what success looks like or if you have mistaken isolation for achievement. Old problems disappear and new problems emerge. You no longer worry about rent or groceries or medical bills. Instead, you worry about kidnappers and gold diggers and investment bubbles. Money solves the problems of poverty and creates the problems of wealth. The new problems feel harder because fewer people understand them. Sympathy is rare when your struggles involve too much money instead of too little. You learn that suffering is relative, but loneliness is absolute. Level 6. The corruption. 10 years of wealth have changed you in ways that surprise people who knew you before. You speak sharply to service workers who move too slowly. You expect immediate attention and perfect service. When restaurants cannot accommodate your party, you buy the restaurant. When traffic delays your schedule, you buy a helicopter. Money has taught you that problems exist to be eliminated, not endured. You have forgotten the patience poverty taught you. Your children attend elite private schools where their classmates are senators' children and oil executives' heirs. They learn early that money solves problems and creates opportunities. They speak casually about buying things other families save years to afford. You wanted to give them advantages you never had. Instead, you have given them expectations that will never prepare them for disappointment. Their innocence dies slowly as they learn their power over others. Lisa grows distant as your personality hardens. She remembers the man who bought coffee for his co-workers on his last day. She lives with a stranger who calculates the value of every interaction. You argue about money for the first time since winning. She wants to donate more. You want to preserve wealth for your children. The fight is not about money. It is about the man you have become versus the man she married. Neither of you can bridge that gap anymore. Your old neighborhood embarrasses you now. The houses look smaller and shabbier than you remembered. The people seem trapped by circumstances you escaped. You drive through once and never return. You tell yourself you have evolved beyond your origins. You know you have betrayed them instead. The boy who bought lottery tickets with his last $5 would not recognize the man counting millions in secure accounts. You have gained everything and lost yourself completely. Level 7, the Dynasty. 15 years after winning, you are worth $3 billion. Smart investments and compound interest have tripled your lottery winnings. You own companies and real estate across the globe. Your name appears on Forbes lists and business magazines. Strangers recognize you at airports and restaurants. You have become a celebrity for succeeding at capitalism. The fame feels empty because it is based on luck rather than talent or virtue. Your twins are in high school now, attending a boarding school that costs more per year than most people earn. They come home for holidays and speak about classmates whose families own countries and corporations. They are polite and well-educated and completely disconnected from normal human experience. They have never been hungry or worried or genuinely afraid. You wonder if you have raised children or expensive pets who happen to be human. Lisa files for divorce on your 20th wedding anniversary. She hires lawyers who specialize in billion-dollar settlements. The woman who once cooked ramen noodles in a small apartment now fights for half of everything you built together. You feel betrayed until you realize she feels the same. You bought her things instead of loving her truly. She stayed for security instead of leaving with integrity. You are both guilty of choosing comfort over courage. The divorce makes headlines because the numbers are astronomical. Reporters camp outside your house and follow your children to school. Your private pain becomes public entertainment. You settle quickly to protect your family from scrutiny. Lisa takes half your wealth and moves across the country. The twins choose to live with her because she still remembers how to laugh. You keep the houses and the cars and the loneliness. You tell yourself you won the negotiation. You know you lost everything that mattered. Level 8, the hollow victory. Your wealth grows faster than you can spend it. You buy art you do not appreciate and wines you cannot taste. Your houses remain empty except for staff paid to maintain things you never use. You travel constantly but see nothing clearly. Every destination feels the same when you arrive by private jet and stay in presidential suites. Luxury has become routine, and routine has killed wonder. You have everything anyone could want and no reason to want anything. Your children visit twice a year and call on your birthday. They are polite but distant, like well-mannered strangers performing social obligations. You buy them cars and vacations and trust funds that will last generations. They accept gratefully and contribute nothing to the conversations. Money has replaced affection in your family. The exchange rate is devastating but irreversible. You have purchased their respect but lost their love. Politicians and celebrities seek your friendship because you can fund their ambitions. You attend dinners where powerful people discuss reshaping society over wine that costs more than teachers earn in a month. You have a voice in decisions that affect millions of people you will never meet. The responsibility feels theoretical because the problems seem distant. Wealth insulates you from consequences the way armor protects soldiers in battle. Health problems emerge from stress and isolation. Your doctor prescribes medications for conditions caused by having everything and enjoying nothing. You could buy the best treatment available anywhere in the world. Instead, you ignore the symptoms because addressing them requires admitting that money cannot solve the deepest problems. Depression is not a financial crisis. Loneliness is not a market inefficiency. Some suffering resists the solutions wealth provides. Level 9, The Reckoning. 20 years after winning the lottery, you are 54 years old and worth $5 billion. You employ hundreds of people who manage your wealth and maintain your properties. Your success has created an economy of dependence around your name. People you have never met feed their families with money you will never miss. You have become an institution rather than a person. The distinction matters less than it should. Your father died working 2 jobs to feed his family. Your mother died cleaning other people's houses to pay for medicine. They would not recognize the world their son inhabits. You live in luxury they could not imagine and suffer from problems they never had time to develop. You wonder if they would be proud of your success or ashamed of what success has cost. The answer changes depending on how honest you allow yourself to be. Philanthropy becomes your obsession because giving away money feels better than earning it. You fund hospitals and schools and research that might cure diseases. Your donations make headlines and earn awards from grateful institutions. The recognition feels good but not fulfilling. You are buying absolution for crimes you cannot name. Generosity with money you cannot spend is not virtue. It is mathematics disguised as morality. Your twins graduate college and start careers funded by trust funds that guarantee their success. They will never know failure or want or the satisfaction of earning something through pure effort. You tried to give them everything and gave them nothing meaningful instead. They are intelligent and educated and completely unprepared for life without wealth. You have created beautiful, hollow people who will never understand struggle or genuine achievement. Level 10, The End. You are 60 years old and worth more than some countries. Your name appears on buildings and scholarship funds. Universities compete for your donations. Politicians seek your endorsement. You have achieved everything American capitalism promises and nothing human dignity requires. You won the biggest lottery in history and lost the only life you ever had. The trade feels unfair but irreversible. You live alone in a penthouse that overlooks the city where you once worked in a tire shop. The view is spectacular and meaningless. You eat meals prepared by chefs who cook food you cannot taste. Your bed is large enough for 4 people but holds only one man who dreams about the woman he drove away with wealth. Loneliness is the only authentic emotion left in your manufactured life. Your children are strangers who share your DNA and your accountant. They live well but not wisely, spending money they did not earn on things they do not need. They are your legacy and your failure. You wanted to give them advantages. Instead, you gave them disadvantages disguised as privileges. They will never know pride or purpose because they will never face real challenges or meaningful consequences. The lottery ticket that changed everything sits framed in your office. The paper is yellow now and the ink is fading. You stare at it some evenings and wonder what would have happened if the numbers had been different. You imagine the life you would have lived with Lisa in the small apartment. You imagine children who knew struggle and joy in equal measure. You imagine dying poor but not alone. The alternative life feels more appealing than the reality you purchased with $600 million. You think about happiness sometimes and realize you have forgotten what it feels like. You remember being happy before winning but cannot access that emotion anymore. Wealth has rewired your brain for acquisition rather than appreciation. You accumulate experiences and possessions but cannot convert them into satisfaction. The mechanism that produces joy has been broken by having too much too easily for too long. You establish a foundation that will spend your money for generations after your death. The lawyers create structures that will fund good causes until the sun burns out. Your wealth will outlive you and help people you will never meet. The knowledge provides comfort but not peace. You cannot buy forgiveness from yourself for the life you wasted in pursuit of more. Money is the worst drug because it promises everything and delivers nothing except the need for more money. Somewhere in Ohio tonight, a man checks lottery numbers on his phone. He works at a tire shop and dreams of never worrying about money again. His girlfriend cooks ramen noodles and talks about vacations they cannot afford. He buys tickets every Friday with his last $5. He has no idea what winning will cost him. He has no idea what it will turn him into. But he will learn the way you learned, one terrible level at a time. And the cycle continues.